Hi everyone, welcome to the North Phoenix Suburbanstead. My name is Rich. The project we're working on now are restoring or at least getting these wheelbarrows into an operational state. As Andrew Camerata would say, hey, the project at hand, So we've got 4 wheelbarrows here. This one on the right, the black one, just needs some TLC. This is the original wheelbarrow from the North Phoenix Suburbanstead. You may have seen one of our videos prior where we restored this, or at least freshened it up to make sure that it was operational. It just needs a little bit of TLC here. This red wheelbarrow we got from our neighbor. They just didn't need it anymore and wanted to know if we would want it. Of course we said yes. And some more TLC work here, including working on the tire. Pretty sure the tube has got a hole in it and it continues to flatten, and we always pump it up. So this one too, like the black one, we'll just do some quick TLC to it to get it and make sure it's operational. These 2 wheelbarrows, however, are really tough shape. These are from our good friend Shane at the Flight Springs Ranch. These wheelbarrows have been left outside, used for a lot of concrete, so we're going to work on these a little bit. We've got some tire issues, we've got a lot of concrete, we've got some rust that we'll be inspecting, and this one over here, the 2-wheel wheelbarrow, is actually missing one of the handles. So lots of TLC on these. Again, the objective here is not to restore these into some primo shape. It's just to get them operational so we can use them again around the ranch. Let's fix these wheelbarrows. Wheelbarrow 1 of 4. So this is the one that's from the North Phoenix Suburbanstead. It's actually in fine shape. There's a little bit of surface rust and some dings. I'm not going to really worry about those. What we are going to fix is we're going to tighten down all the bolts, and we'll fix this bracket that's supposed to be out in front. We'll clean and protect the rubber on the tires, and then we're going to work on the handles. So the handles, just getting a little bit of rough shape. We'll lightly sand them and then put a coat of boiled linseed oil on the handles just to further protect them. Pretty straightforward job. The tire is actually in really good shape. It's all greased up and it's spinning nicely. It's not squealing. And there's nothing worse than a wheelbarrow when you go to use it and it's got a flat tire. So we did work on this one a little bit not too long ago. We filled it up with air. It's at the right pressure. We're good to go. So we're just gonna protect it. We're gonna use this Armor All protectant I usually use on the car tires and the trailer tires. And I've got only a little bit left, so we'll see how much we're going to be able to get done. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. Just putting some protectant on it. So here in Arizona desert, it's not the heat that really bothers the rubber components. It's the dry air, which is throughout the year. Occasionally in the summer we'll get some monsoon humidity, but ultimately the cracking happens all because of the dry air. So just trying to protect it and prolong its life. So we're going to work on the handles a little bit, and all we're going to do is just a bit of a light sanding to it, and then we're not going to take them off or anything, but a little bit of light sanding. We'll put a coat of boiled linseed oil on it, at least 1, maybe 2. We'll see how it goes. And the whole idea here is just to protect this definitely from the sun. What you'll also see is that there is a little bit of rust on some of the areas, not only surface rust on the actual wheelbarrow, but on the bolts as well. So when we put these back in on the front bracket, we'll use a little bit of WD-40 just to clean them up a little bit. Again, light stuff that we're doing here. So I'm going to use the boiled linseed oil. This is there's only a little bit left in here, and the cap is so screwed I can't get it off. So we're just going to slice it open and kind of make a mess. So if you've seen some of the prior videos when we work with stains and boiled linseed oil, we actually lit our garbage cans on fire through spontaneous combustion. Yeah, that was fun. All the neighbors, thank God, saw the smoke. I had actually run an errand, and they called the fire department. They grabbed hoses from the neighbors. They put it all out. Fire department showed up. Anyway, totally melted the garbage cans. You should check out the video. And so to make sure that I don't screw that one up again and like burn the whole freaking neighborhood or the Suburbanstead, I've got this can over here. Let me show you. So I just take a little bit of bucket. It's a metal bucket. I fill it with water. So after we use some of the tools here with the linseed oil, including some rags, we'll drown them in here just to make sure that they won't get oxygen and spontaneously combust again. Yep. Don't burn down the neighborhood. Don't burn down the neighborhood. Burn down the neighborhood. Don't burn down the neighborhood. All right, all done. Again, really simple stuff, just trying to protect it and keep it and prolong it while I'm getting prepared to work on the other wheelbarrows which are in much rougher shape than this one. So let's go ahead and finish this up. We'll start working on the next one, number 2. All right, so here we are on to the second wheelbarrow. Again, I got this one from our neighbors, the Johnsons. Very good shape. It just needs a little TLC. Like the first one we did, the black one, there is a little bit of surface rust on the inside of the bucket. We do definitely want to treat the wood here. You can feel how rough it is and dry. And the wheel is a problem. There's a little bit of shaking here. The tube continues to run out of air, so I think what we'll do is take a couple of pieces off here, not the whole thing, and just get access to the wheel and then just kind of start working on it and see if we can find the problem. So the nuts are all 7/16. They're pretty loose, so definitely a good time for some deals. Further inspection, we blew this tire up not too long ago. It's a little soft, but it's holding air. So I don't think if it's not totally losing air and going flat, I'm not going to mess with it today. So we'll just clean this up. We'll protect it like we did the other wheel. To work on the handles, I'm not going to dismantle the rest of this. I'll tighten up those bolts for the legs, and then we'll just sand where we can and apply the protection of the linseed oil. So yeah, it's still pretty splintery. Some cracks happening. So got out the power sander here. We'll go with a 40 grit pad, and then we will move to 150 grit. It'll just make easier work. So now that we've got these in much better shape, more comfortable with it, I'm going to put the wheel back on and we'll grease it up. So that's it for wheelbarrow number 2, the one that we got from our neighbors, the Johnsons. Just gave it some TLC, sanded this all down, all the wood parts, applied some protection to it on the linseed oil, worked on the wheel a little bit, just cleaned it all up and greased it all up, so we should be ready to go. Now we're going to move on to the really rough wheelbarrows, number 3 and number 4, that need a lot of attention. And so we'll see you in the next clip. I decided to break up the video into 2 parts. The wheelbarrow number 1 and 2, they're relatively straightforward, pretty simple. These 2 are going to be much longer videos because there's a tremendous amount of work that needs to be done on them. So we'll look for that one in the second part, or part 2, of getting the wheelbarrows back in operational form. Thanks for watching. See you soon.